Hello, Revolution. I just wanted to offer you a quick hello and an update at the beginning of this week 3 of our quarantine and social distancing. I've heard from many of you who have reached out to ask, what can I do? What can I do to help? And I'm not surprised because that's who we are here at Revolution, a people serious about loving God and loving our neighbors well, always willing to jump in and help. And so I just wanted to share a couple of ways that I think that we, the church, can be responding in this time with the love of Christ in our community. And the first is to stay home. I truly believe that this is the most important thing that we can be doing, to love our neighbors, especially the most vulnerable among us, to practice good social distancing, to play our part in flattening that curve so we don't overwhelm our healthcare industry, and so that more people have the resources and access to healing that they need if they are sick. I know that sounds counterintuitive because we hear the charge from Scripture and from Christ to go. We see the example of Christ who goes to the margins of society, who goes to the most vulnerable and extends to them the love of community. And I do believe this is a charge of love. But instead of hearing this as a charge to go, I want us to hear this charge of love as a charge to stay. That we can stay home and that we can love our neighbors well. And it's a kind of love that looks like sacrifice, that looks like self-denial, that looks like considering the needs of others ahead of our own. This is hard, it's difficult, but to think of it as a way that we still love our neighbors by protecting them and especially protecting the most vulnerable among us by staying home. 2 is to pray. I believe we are called to be a people of prayer in all times, and especially now, to pray for our church, for our community, for our world, to pray for our healthcare workers, for our first responders, for those essential workers who are still working every day and sacrificing to allow us to stay home and practice good social distancing. So I want to invite you to join me on Wednesday at noon on Facebook Live. I'll offer another midweek prayer, and I encourage you to continue to pray with your families in your homes throughout the week for healing and for peace, and especially for the most vulnerable among us. The next way I think we can be responding is to give to the ministries and missions of Revolution Church. So many of you have continued to do so in the last couple of weeks, and I thank you so much for your generous giving at this time. Clearly our programming costs are down. We've had to cancel quite a few things. We do still have a couple of expenses that go on, like rent and staff that are still working from home. And we also have our mission partners. Maybe more importantly, these mission partners that we want to continue. Our partnerships with Go, our partnerships with 4th Avenue, which just a few weeks ago, we packed and sent 200 sack lunches down to 4th to pass out as a part of their outreach. We have mission partnerships with HEAT, our homeless ministry that will continue at this time, and also our own Helping Hand Fund, which is for any neighbor in our community that we discover who needs help with rent or with bills or with other expenses, temporary relief in that way. And so when you give to Revolution, you are a part of each of those mission partnerships and all of the work that they are doing in the world. So I know many of us will begin to feel the economic impacts of this virus, if not already, very soon. And so I only ask that you give as you can and partner with us in the work that we as a church are doing in Louisville and also throughout the world. And then finally, if you are able to get out, there are a couple of opportunities to serve, but I would encourage us to do so cautiously. I've listed a few links here along with this video of ways I've discovered that we could be serving safely in Louisville. The first is called Louisville Match. And what it does is it matches you based on your geographical area in Louisville, based on your neighborhood. If you're someone who is able to get out to go to the grocery and to get things that you need, it matches you with someone who is not and allows you to help bless them, possibly in your own neighborhood. The second thing is the American Red Cross has asked for donations of blood at this time that they are in need of, and you can follow that link and find different drives coming up even this week in our surrounding neighborhoods. And then lastly, Jeffersontown Area Ministries. This is a local food pantry here in J-Town that we support as a church. They're always looking for food donations, but especially right now, they need laundry detergent, dish soap, toilet paper, and diapers sized 5 and 6. So if you are someone who's able to get out and go to the grocery store safely, maybe you can pick up a couple of these items extra this week and drop them off at JAM. You can drop them off outside and do so safely. You know, I've seen so many of you who have found ways to be the revolution and to love and bless your neighbors here in a safe way, whether it's writing a message in sidewalk chalk or sending notes to shut-ins or caring for the at-risk and elderly around you in your neighborhood. I've been so encouraged and inspired by you. And so there are many ways beyond this, and I encourage you to continue to be the revolution, to share this love of Christ in so many ways, but above all to do so safely and with the faith and hope that we know God is with us at all times. So I hope you guys have a great week, and I look forward to seeing you all soon. God bless you, and let's be the revolution.